All right. I paint helmets. Greg Stump.
Cool. I'm Ryan.
Ryan Flores. He
We've got Michael Annett here today.
jumps in traffic. Michael Annett.
Yes, sir.
Junior Motorsports Daytona champion.
You're trying to think of what the race was called, weren't you?
Yeah.
You wanted to say Daytona.
Do you know what it was called?
It was the NASCAR Experience. I know that because we got some rings made, and I was just looking at the ring yesterday of the finished product. So,
Dang.
otherwise, I probably would have forgot.
That's always so nice to go there and win that race. I've never done it, but to go there and
So you don't know.
But what I think about is last year when Tyler Reddick came in here and basically told us that he won Daytona and he was just going to take the rest of the year off to the chase.
That's exactly what he said.
And we made fun of him like, yeah, good luck with that. And then he won the championship. So it might be something to think about.
Tyler just went as fast as hell as all he could go all year.
Yeah,
tore
that
up
was
whatever he wanted to,
Yeah.
and then got his head screwed on straight and won the whole thing.
I don't think he had his head skirt on straight. I think he just was fast in Homestead.
Yeah.
He gets on the wheel.
I tell you what, though, he was the most consistent in the playoffs. If you look back on it, though,
Yeah,
he really did.
He was quick.
He did. That's you look at Justin, probably the fastest car all year, and just no luck in the playoffs. And Tyler, I think, was top 5 almost every race.
Yeah, he's dominating this year again, man. He's killing it. So are you, man. You've had a good season.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. We have definitely, if you look back on the past 2, it's a huge improvement. But Cole and Tyler and Christopher, they're making a good year not look very good right now with the season they're having. So we're all across the board over there. All 4 cars are fast, but we're not where we need to be.
Yeah.
I think any other year, it's funny, you look at Charlotte, we had all 4 JRM cars in the top 7, and it wasn't really a good day when you look at how Tyler dominated.
Yeah.
It's just someone, I think it was Larry Mack, I saw a quote of his today that you can't talk about good finishes anymore. It's about segment points and wins.
Yeah.
Top 10s are a moot point, honestly, anymore. It's crazy how important just wins are right now.
Yeah, and the way that the points are, the way the points are structured, if you run 12th or if you run 10th, and you have more points than the guy that ran 7th if you got stage points. It's just such a different way of racing.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Well, that's the way it is, but it puts different strategy and makes it interesting during the race, especially places like Pocono where strategy is wide open for everybody.
It's a road course, man.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how.
Okay,
That's
good.
what I was told.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's road course strategy at Pocono.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, once
See?
once you can make it, you come.
You just changed tires.
Yep.
I didn't even watch the race
Tell me
this
when it's
weekend.
coming.
It was great. This is the first race
Why
of
is
the
that
year.
great?
The first race of the year that I did not watch the race.
Why didn't you watch? What were you doing?
I went to the lake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you go surfing?
No, we just went on the lake and watched the sun and the water.
How often do you watch cup races being done on Saturday?
Honestly, quite a bit.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Honestly, quite a bit.
That's what I would
Because
figure.
I was just thinking about what he said. Last Sunday was I used to own a boat. Used to be on the water all the time. Bought a house that has a pool, and I owned that boat for a year. Did not touch it for a year. Sold it, then did not go on Lake Norman at all last year. And I was thinking about last Sunday was the first time I was on the water in about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And but that was kind of the first Sunday I haven't watched a cup race in a. Well, actually, I missed missed Indy. I was able to watch a cup race as late as it started, but no, honestly, Sundays, I kind of keep the back door open to the pool, and I'm in and out. And Sunday, I watched motocross Sunday, watched drag racing, watched the Indy race, watched cup race.
Got it all.
Yeah, so no, I watch quite a bit on Sunday. I'm here because I'm a race fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel like that, because I know a lot of the good guys watch the Xfinity race on Saturday to see what's going to do on Sunday. You think you pick up stuff from broadcast watching that you can apply on Saturdays or not really?
It's hard now with the packages being so different.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing on the weekend besides actually racing is when the truck series is at the same track we are. Or even it's fun watching. They're going to be in Texas this weekend, but grilling out by the bus and watching that truck race. But you can see tendencies on restarts watching that truck race the day before. But the biggest thing we do now is the accessibility to every in-car camera, the qualifying footage and the race footage of every race back to 2017, and it's really coming in a lot right now. These past two, Pocono and Michigan, because we're going back to our original package instead of the aero ducts and the pans and all that package that we had at Pocono and Michigan and Indy last year. So we're going back to the 2017, in-car cameras, and which is really good to get that refresher because the aero package is what's stuck in our head from Michigan last year, which it's completely different.
Yeah. No, I think not a lot of people think how much homework you guys have to do as drivers now is like you gotta be watching all the in-car stuff, and there's everything you gotta be doing on the off days, I guess.
What Cup has, I don't know if Xfinity has it, but where you can pretty much see like a video game live what people are doing. Do you guys have that too?
We don't have it yet, and we laugh about it, not bringing down our series sponsor, but the reason we don't have it is they don't have enough internet coverage in the Xfinity garage.
Oh boy.
Like we struggle to get our dartfish to work sometimes.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. My crew chief Travis Mack, he got so used to having that, and now he's kind of going back to the ancient times watching dartfish. But no, if we could have that, that would be huge because obviously I'm watching every Cup practice and that.
Yeah, it's right there. You can see exactly where you're losing time.
It's right in front of you.
Yeah,
that would be huge for us. But yeah, I mean the homework you're talking about, it's just to have it at your fingertips. If you're not if you're not doing it, you're selling your guys short that they're in the shop 8 a.m. to who knows when, working their tails off, and you're not sitting at home doing your part. You're selling them short. So we try to do everything we can.
You guys are a good team bonding there, I feel like, right?
Yeah, and it's across the board too. With all four teams, they're all set up. Plates are right there next to each other, and a lot of guys that have been there a long time, which is good to see.
I love that place.
Yeah,
it's like the one place I look forward to going dropping off helmets at because everyone's just a family there.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Jam told me to tell you hello.
Oh yeah, he raced last weekend.
Yeah.
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 In the off-axis Cadillac or something.
That's
I don't know what
he said.
he was
He had
running.
off-axis decal all over it. Said he started second and finished fifth. Noah won it.
I saw that.
Caraway.
Yeah.
He said Noah's car was cheated up though.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It was like a 4-door. What was that thing?
It was it was heavy.
It was big.
It looked like a boat. Yeah. It was big.
Oof. But one thing that Travis Mack I think brings to the table there, and I think that I don't know. I've had this conversation a lot, but Travis has been on every side of it, right? He started pretty much as just a mechanic, and then kind of went through Hendrick's whole program, and jumped to be the crew chief of the 95, and things didn't work out there, and luckily he landed with you guys. And I feel like we have and I don't want to get myself in trouble, but
No,
I really
please.
don't care. You have engineers, right? That we put in charge of these race teams, and a lot of guys that are crew chiefs or have been engineers. They go to 6 years of engineering school, and they've never had to lead men or women before, and then they get in a position because they're maybe the smartest guy on the team, but they don't have the greatest leadership skills because they've never been, played team sports or been part of a team. And that's why I think Travis Mack and racers like that, Paul Wolf, guys like that have been leaders of men, really step up to the plate and can turn a team around just by having the right people and having a clear direction of where you're going. And I see that with Travis, that he does a great job with your team.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough you can say about Travis in not only the leadership, but the guy he doesn't let you believe any other way than we're going to be successful. He just doesn't let you believe it. We've come to some tracks. I'm like, man, I really have struggled here. And he's like, well, what'd you fight? What can we do? And, I mean, we've just had so many of my firsts in my career with Travis, first win, first pole. I'd gone to Charlotte. I think I was counting in my head. I'd been there 20 times in my career. Never had a top 10. We finished sixth a couple weeks ago. It's just stuff like that. And kind of going off your point, a lot of these guys that are engineers become crew chiefs. That's kind of the trend NASCAR is going to, and it obviously it works a lot of ways. Um, but I think the deal with Travis being a car chief, he really sees the side of the mechanics and what they are able to do. Xfinity, we have 55-minute practice, usually an hour, maybe a little bit more, 55-minute practice. And you see a lot of times these engineers are up there in the hauler for 40 minutes, dreaming up, running everything through the sim. They bring that sheet out to the car chief and say, "Hey, do this." Car chief, man, I need an hour to get all this done.
Yeah.
But the crew chief's like, well, that's what we need to do, and then you feel the tension grow. The second I've
Yeah.
seen it a million times. The second that sheet's handed to the car chief, you almost see him turn red, and you feel that tension. Then you normally have a frustrating happy hour because they kind of half-ass get half of it in, which we all know a setup doesn't work with half of it or quarter of it. Everyone's always talk to my buddy. They're running this spring.
Yeah.
But what else? And it
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
work. So Travis knows the time frame, what can be done, what's the smartest thing that we can do to make the car better in this time we have to do it right. And I think being on the mechanical side of it, and he's smart as hell. I don't
Yeah.
the way he can. I'm amazed at how well he is with a laptop and looking at sim, not really being in an engineering background. It's pretty amazing at how smart he is with that side of it, and like you said, just the chemistry on that one team's really, really good right now, and we're just having a lot of fun, which just makes everybody want to,
Yeah,
do their
that's
part
the
to
best feeling
continue
of the
that
track
trend.
when you're having
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, and it's amazing what you can do, and what like I look at it with a lot of people in history that started out maybe slow, and then they get a team behind them that believes in them, that they feel believe in them, and are all pulling the rope in the same direction. And I mean, you look at guys like Joey Logano, who struggled at Gibbs, or look at Martin, who had a decade career and they get with the right team that are all going the right direction and believe in each other and what they're able to do. I mean, hell, they're both champions of the sport now, and I seriously believe it's just getting with the right guys. And that's something big with Travis. He's seen every side of it. It's really easy at any job, not just in racing, just to look at what you do and only see your perspective. But for somebody to look at it objectively, have the whole team rally, and that's why I feel like you guys always have speed. Why you can win speedway races, because everybody thinks speedway races are a crapshoot, but they're not. The fastest car usually wins it. So yeah, that's what I think is exciting for you guys. But one thing that I think is really cool that a lot of people don't know is your involvement with sprint car racing growing up. Because I don't really know what you started racing, but I know that your dad owned Sammy Swindell's car, probably one of the most iconic sprint cars ever done, and that's something that I want to talk to you about, because the NASCAR side we all see, it's on TV, but that stuff, that might be something that a lot of people don't really know that you were involved in and your family's involved in.
Yeah, so I was born in '86, and I think my dad started with Sammy right around that time frame, '87. They had been with Mike Brooks. I mean, this is back before Wings at Knoxville, and I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, so it's 40 minutes from my house. So
it's a hell of a home track.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, it was kind of hard for me to understand that not all tracks were like Knoxville till I got older. You just assume. And I remember we distant cousins with the Kinsers. My mom came from a Kinser side. I mean, distant cousins. So was always good friends with Craig. And I remember following one time remember the Gum Out series?
Yeah.
He was running that. And we went to Eagle down in Nebraska. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, because I thought every track was like Knoxville. I just didn't get it. I was spoiled.
It's still not a bad track though. It's just not. It's just not
It's
Knoxville.
just not Knoxville.
Yeah.
It was crazy to me. But so, from '86 to '93 was when my dad got out of sprint car racing. That's all I knew. Hell, I was a C-section baby, and they scheduled it on Monday so that we could be Knoxville Friday night. And
dang.
So
newborn Michael. Right
yeah,
there.
exactly. So that's all I knew till I was 7 years old. Would travel as much as we could. Remember all the way back to being at Manzanita every weekend in Phoenix for the Slick 50 days and all that stuff. But they went Busch Grand National racing at the end of '93.
With who drove?
Sammy drove.
With the Channel Lock car?
No,
Or
it
is that
was.
different?
It had TMC on the hood, in Bolin Hanna beef jerky on the quarter panels. It had like a
What
white
number?
white 26 on it.
26.
Sounds
Okay.
delicious.
Yep. So they went and tried that and were not successful by all means. And both of them were used to winning pretty much every
Yeah.
weekend. So it was just really humbling and tearing up a lot of equipment. And my dad just said, "I'm done. I'm going to focus on the trucking company." Sold everything and he was done. So I was 7 years old and that's all I knew. And I hadn't been in a go-kart. My mom was just set I wasn't going to race anything. So had some buddies that were playing hockey at the time, went with them to hockey practice, and that became my focus. But I still was, like I told you, I'm a gigantic race fan. That's all I knew. So I think it was about 5th grade, I finally talked my dad, and we snuck off and ran some mini cup races without my mom knowing, which is a Bandolero with a stock car body on it. They're at Hawkeye Downs in Cedar Rapids, and there was a road course in Marshalltown, Iowa, we went to. Won every race I was in. I think we did it 6 times. Won every race, and my dad said, if you get an A in, I think it was math that year, we're going to go full-time and start this. And I was dumb enough, I didn't. And he stuck to his guns.
I was going to say, I would never race if that was the case. Yeah.
Yep. He stuck to, I thought he was full of it, I showed him I kind of knew what I was doing, but he stuck to his guns. I think it was his easy way out. Didn't have to deal with my mom.
Didn't have to do it.
Yeah. So up until I was 19, I was playing hockey, made it up to the junior A level, and but still every weekend those guys, you live with billet families in towns you're not from, and we'd all gather after practice. They'd go watch a college game on the satellite somewhere, and I was in the other room either with my steering wheel and PS2 playing a NASCAR game or watching races somewhere, and they're making fun of me being a hillbilly. And I think I'd been 2 years in junior A, about a quarter of the season left. I'd finally convinced my mom and dad to, hey, give me a shot. And so I decided, I was going to play at a D3 college probably for 4 years, and that would be it. I'm too small and wasn't good enough to be pro. So I was like, man, and then I'd end up at my dad's trucking company, which very fortunate to have that opportunity, but I'm not very good at waking up early, and I don't think any of us in racing, unless you were working in the shop, like that. So
It's the worst.
yeah, I hate it. I'm just not a morning guy. But so talked him into it, ordered straight up, went to the Simpson catalog, ordered helmet, fire suit, everything. Still had some connections with Chris Santucci, who was the crew chief of the sprint car before we'd quit sprint car racing, and he was working for RE Technologies and Carl Edwards, and they had all those Silver Crown cars. And we honestly lost in the playoffs that year, and the following weekend we went to Memphis, and I strapped into a Silver Crown car for 2 days,
shit.
and we tested down there for 2 days with Jerry Coons Jr. driving their other car, was kind of trying to help. So did that for 2 days, and then
That was the first thing you've been in since a Bandolero type car?
yeah,
Oh,
at
damn.
10.
At
yeah.
Memphis.
Yeah, at
So
Memphis.
this is 9 years later, or 10 years, something like that.
Yep. Kind of 10 minutes of telling me how to start it and
This is the
get
clutch.
going. Yep.
Yeah.
So did that. Then we went back to Cedar Rapids the rest of that summer and ran. It was like a sportsman division on the half mile up there. Ran that a few times and went straight to the ASA Midwest Tour and crate late models. Following year did I don't even know what they call it, but it was more of just the local ASA, and ended that year with running ARC at Talladega with Bill Davis. Actually, we ran with Wintron Racing at Iowa first. I actually sat on the pole there and ran third. Ran a couple more races with them, then won that race with Bill Davis at Talladega that year. Then signed on to I think we ended up doing 6 ARCA, 6 truck races the following year. And then it was that full-time year with Jermaine, and from there on out. So everything from 19 to now was really fast forward, and not a whole lot of time to mess up in go-karts and learn in go-karts. So, all my screw-ups were a lot more expensive and
more
at a higher level.
Yeah.
So I think, and hell, I'm still learning compared to some of those guys that started in go-karts that learn stuff on just little things like Justin, just talking to him and stuff he notices is still way ahead of where I'm at. You know, I pick his brain as much as I can, just because he races so much and has been racing for so long. It's amazing to see how his brain works. I can tell compared to mine.
Yeah, him or like Reddick that have, raced since they're 4 years old. It's a little hard.
Well, Tyler just says, it's a little tight.
Puts it in the wall.
Yep. But you watch him and he's 10 times freer than any of us, but, to him he's a little tight.
Yeah, whatever.
NASCAR Coast to Coast on MRN.com and Motor Racing Network's Facebook. Join me, Kyle Rickey, and Hannah Newhouse as we talk with the next generation of NASCAR stars and established local and regional racers each Wednesday at 1 Eastern Time. Or subscribe, download, and listen on your favorite podcast provider. NASCAR Coast to Coast. Grassroots NASCAR racing from the Motor Racing Network.
Hi, this is Mike Backley. Join me and the rest of the MRN crew every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. We'll get you up to date with the latest news stories and ready for the upcoming race weekend.
So many crazy things happen there. It's one of those races where anything can happen, especially at the end.
Hear exclusive interviews, expert analysis, and much more.
Oh, yeah, boys, how about that? Oh, yeah! Great job!
It's NASCAR Live this Tuesday night at 7 Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
No, I just want to talk about hockey days, man. I love hockey. So
Are you a hockey fan?
Yeah, I love the Blues.
You're a Blues fan.
Yeah, of course they're in the playoffs right now. So
And they won last night.
Got to be in the Blues. Yeah, I've been to a couple games with the old Kenny Wallace, the old St. Louis.
His videos I was looking at his videos over at the shop today. He posted a bunch on Twitter.
Biting his nails and stuff. Yeah, he's a diehard Blues fan.
I didn't know they played that video before. Did you see that? The video they played before their playoff games?
Is it him?
It's him and his dirt late model and a sprint car guy. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
said
that.
they play it before every playoff game.
Did they show his sweet helmet?
No,
Sweet
that's
Blues
the only
helmet?
thing I did. The video, he's not wearing his Blues helmet in the video. I don't
What a
think.
bummer.
So, where'd you see it at? Where can you see it?
On his Twitter.
All right, I'm gonna look that up
Yeah,
when I get out here.
it's just interesting
Look
that
at-
that's their playoff. Like
Yeah.
the whole arena's black and they play that
Kenny
video.
Wallace is pumped. He goes there and just drinks some beer. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dude.
Boston is playing a video with Tom Brady in it to get their crowd hyped up, and Memphis or St. Louis is playing. I'm stuck
Kenny
on it. Is
Wallace.
playing Herman.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Herminator.
That is. I gotta watch that.
That is great. Dang, we almost went through the entire list of stuff.
So dirt sprint cars. You never got into that at all.
No,
Mom says too dangerous.
Yep, that was part of the
It is.
agreement. When I talked them into letting me pursue this, it was I would never ask to go dirt racing.
It's probably smart.
Well, and that era, like this era now, is probably
Yeah.
the most the most dangerous type of cars. That era, it was like classic F1 racing. They were losing guys all the time, so
Yeah.
I could
Oof.
see that.
Yeah, I've been in Knoxville, obviously the fastest track besides maybe Eldora, but so I saw quite a few, and she obviously witnessed quite a few. Yeah, I remember. I don't know if you guys remember Danny Young at all. He was well, I think it was probably. I remember these races, so I was old enough to. It was probably around '91 when 360s first came out, and they ran no front wing, and they ran that real skinny top wing.
Yep.
And we had David Hessmer as a driver, and he won every weekend, unless this Danny Young kid won. And I remember it was through that '91 year. It was almost over. He got killed, and I remember that day. And so, but my mom had seen a lot more than I had. Her, she remembered a lot more. But yeah, it was not a good time to try to talk her into strap me into a go-kart. At that age.
Yeah, something that didn't have a roll cage. That would be
So-
rough.
Have you ever been to Knoxville?
I have been for about 10 times.
I've
for
never been,
dirt.
but the only thing I hear about is Dingus. Is Dingus as good as everybody says it is?
So
It's a good time.
he can answer that. I haven't been to Knoxville a whole lot lately. We went last year, but we were running. We tied into the Iowa Speedway race, but whenever I was at Knoxville, Dingus was out of my element.
That's the
I
bar
I
that-
remember
Oh,
the
yeah.
bowling alley
Yeah.
there. We
Across the street, Dingus.
So you race late models there, though, right? Did you go there?
I've
with-
never been there to watch sprint cars. I've watched plenty of late model races there. It's still fast. You never been there?
I've never been there.
The
No, I've
wall.
been doing this for
Oh,
my whole life, so you
the
know.
wall is so tall there. Like it doesn't look that big on videos when sprint cars flip over it, but it's like like 15,
yeah, they
at
got
least 15 feet.
because
Like,
they have the normal fence and then they put the billboard above the fence.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when a car flips out of there, it's up there in the air. It's crazy.
Sprint car racing is still so badass. Like, we got a buddy that works for Kerry Madsen,
Mhm.
right? So they went to run at what's that place in Ohio where they had that $100,000 win race?
Mansfield.
Mansfield this weekend, right?
That's
Had
a
a
nice
rough
track,
had a
too.
rough night
Oof.
Friday. They were leading their A qualifier and something broke, so they loaded up since they were buried in points. Drove to Knoxville since they're trying to win the Nationals. Like got there just in time to change the bars and get everything set, and they raced. They run second to Terry
Mhm.
McCarl. I was like, no other series can you just say, we're gonna have a good night here. We're gonna go
Yep.
halfway across the country
Yep.
and go race. But that's one thing. But even like all those tracks in Iowa that you ran, are they still open or what's?
Yeah, I didn't run. The only one that we actually ran in Iowa was Hawkeye Downs, but there's quite a few around. Like we'd go up and run lacrosse where they have Oktoberfest, and that series I was in would kind of tour around there, a little bit of Ohio and Michigan. But Hawkeye Downs actually that's where Landon Castle came from.
Yeah.
Joey Gase ran there quite a bit, but it's nice because you don't get a whole lot of big half miles, in late miles growing up.
And they still run that place weekly.
Mhm. Yeah, they run the half mile, then they'll run Legends on the quarter mile.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about when did they build the Big Iowa Speedway? How many years ago was that? A decade now?
Probably. I ran the second. We ran those crate late models. They ran Hooters Pro Cup, then us, and it's amazing. From that, we ran that crate late model race, and you couldn't not set it up. And those things, they're 3,400 pounds, and
Yeah.
you're wide open around there. And
That'd be
that
a
place
pretty good time with a crate late model, I bet.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to get out of
It'd be
shape
like
though, 'cause you never
Daytona,
lift.
man. It'd be wild.
Yeah, it's just amazing. That place was glass, and now it's probably the roughest track we go to now.
Yeah, that's how all the Midwest tracks, you get the winter's so rough, and then the summer is 100 degrees, and it's so hard on the
This is-
asphalt out there.
This is one of the hardest winters they've had in a long time, so I'm interested to see here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, how great
much
it's gonna
worse
be.
it is.
How do you feel like a cup race would be there?
I think it'd be really good. I think the problem they're fighting now is they would have to bring in so many grandstands.
Yeah.
It's
th-
always
they
packed
could-
for Xfinity.
They could do a Richmond deal, the old way Richmond
Or
was
just
the
wrap it all the way
backstretch. Yep. And the problem is it would fill it probably the first couple of races, and then probably die off. Because, I mean, that's how it is now. The first IRL race, the first Xfinity race, they brought in temporary and kind of did half the track. Now they can't fill up the little bit they have.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I still like going there because there's a ton of people that come up for Xfinity and whatnot.
Mhm.
The first time we ran Kentucky,
Right.
there was traffic. There was so much traffic getting in and out that people that had
It was
tickets
bad, yeah.
didn't even get to the racetrack by the time the race was
that's
over. There was
already
so much
died off.
traffic.
One
and
way in,
it's-
one way out.
Yeah, so it's man.
Well, what's crazy too is like you brought up Kentucky. That place is sold out for Xfinity, and they announced that Cup date, and
nobody goes.
nobody went to the Xfinity race,
That's
especially
crazy.
when we'd go back there twice. Now we don't. Now we go to
Xfinity's
Vegas.
the best racing, man. That's it.
Yeah, I
No one
don't.
watches Cup.
I don't know.
And I wish they didn't pave it. That ruined Kentucky too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bumps getting in the three were
It was fun.
everybody would do.
I mean,
it would
we all get
separate.
why they did it. It would rain on Tuesday, and you wouldn't get on track till Friday.
Weepers.
That
Yeah.
place is bad.
Yeah. So I've seen a couple, like I've seen Carson's midget
Mm-hmm.
was painted like, and then I see
TMC.
there's a young kid that runs like outlaw kart,
Who?
or what's he run? Or legend car.
Yeah, that's
Three
Sam.
lines?
That's my manager, Kurt Smith. That's
Okay.
his son, Sammy.
Okay,
yeah,
because he
yeah.
was running for Latiga.
Yep.
So I was wondering what the relationship
Yep.
was there.
And he's moved up to CRA this year. He
Really?
actually won the late model World Series championship at New Smyrna.
Okay.
I think he won the last race, but actually won the points
So he's not
championship.
bad. He
No,
can wheel it.
he's doing good.
If you go down to Smyrna and you survive a week there and win the championship, you're doing all right. 'Cause
Right,
there's a lot.
I don't even think they changed the fender on that car. I was surprised.
That's
'cause
impressive.
Especially there.
I never was able to pull that. I ran it for points twice. never able to pull that one off.
What was it like having Dave Blaney as a teammate back in the day? Because I know he was a big.
Yeah, so Sammy Swindell obviously was my hero. That was the guy. Then when we got out of the sport, it ended a little sour between my dad and him. So, but we still had a suite at the Hall of Fame, and we went to Knoxville a couple of years after that, and Dave Blaney was my guy. I don't know why.
The Vibrant 10.
Yep,
That
exactly.
thing was badass,
Yep,
man.
and just cheer for him, and then that was pretty cool to sign that contract with Bill Davis, and he's driving that Caterpillar car. But Dave's he's a quiet guy. I don't know if you've met him. So even working with him, you don't get a whole lot of. He and his son are complete opposites.
You wonder if he's mad at you. Like,
Right.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
drove our car in that Prelude to the Dream a few times, and he blew a fender out of her, and then he just kind of got out and just kind of stared at us for a while. It was very awkward. I didn't really know him back then. I didn't really know Ryan either, and it was just, I was like, all right, I guess we'll fix the car now.
Yeah.
So,
I'd laugh because that year I was running ARC over there, it was back when even if you went testing, you had to have a spotter for
yeah.
for the car, and so I did all the spotting for Dave, and I'd feel so bad for those guys sometimes. They would do like a 2-hour change. They're tight in the center, and they would do like a 2-hour change, and Dave would go out there and make a run, and Tommy'd come on there. All right, what'd it do? Well, I don't know. Tight in the center. It's like those poor bastards down there.
Start over.
Just thrashing away.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Bill Davis. That's so funny. I forgot that you ran there, but they had some good guys up there.
Yeah,
Just-
Tommy Slugger was there. Gene Need.
Well, he was a trucking company guy too, wasn't he?
Yep. Cattle, and he's got all his cattle. But Doug Wolcott was my crew chief on the
He's
truck.
a Wall Stadium guy. Did you know that? New Jersey guy.
I did not
That's a
know
guy
that.
you don't mess with.
Yeah,
You don't mess with anybody from Jersey.
Well,
First time I met him, my buddy Michael Hubert told me we were living up in Greensboro, High Point area at the time, and told me to meet him at this indoor go-kart place. And I show up, and here's this guy in this leather Harley jacket, and he's got the kid working there kind of by the T-shirt. And I guess he just told Black Flag Doug, said, "Hey, quit bumping." And Doug stopped and grabbed him. Yeah. And I'm like, "Who's that guy?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Doug." And then they said I was going to drive that truck. I'm like, "Well, who's the crew chief?" And Hubert's like, "Remember that guy that was choking?" I'm like, "That guy." It was fun though.
That sounds very Jersey.
him, the Tomanos, they were Jersey guys that worked there. There was,
Yeah.
Tomato.
there was a bunch of guys that came down.
Jeff
to go
Hensley
work
was there while I was there. Joe Lax.
Yeah, a lot of guys that still work in the sport
Mhm.
today. But
Animal.
yeah,
He's up there at Moffett Drive.
yeah,
GMS.
GMS, yeah.
GMS.
Moffitt, Iowa guy.
Yep.
There's a lot of talent that came out of there.
Midwest.
Moffett was a dirt Iowa guy though.
Yeah,
That's
IMCA
the best.
Modifieds.
IMCA?
IMCA, is that what they call them out there?
IMC.
What's that place? Boone.
Yeah.
Is that?
That's where that big
Have you
one
ever
is.
been to that race?
Mm-mm.
I
They start them 3 wide up there.
Yeah,
Look,
that's where they
Randy-
start heat races on Sunday 2 weeks before to
Yeah.
get everything
It's wild.
done.
It's kind of like the Chili Bowl for.
Randy LaJoy has some stories about that place.
Oh yeah, I bet.
He says it's pretty crazy riding around with a golf cart with a stripper pole on top of it.
That's how
They
I
get
met
after
Randy
it out
actually.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I met
the
him in
high side
Knoxville.
tickler's got some stories too.
Yeah.
What about superstition? I've heard you're a left side only guy.
I'm superstitious about everything.
Because I paint your helmets now this year, and we put a 4-leaf clover on
Mhm.
the back of them. So I was wondering,
I got one tattooed on my back.
so it's permanently on there,
Yep.
just in case I don't put it on the helmet.
I mean, I
It's there.
get made fun of, like, if I'm walking with you, like, doesn't matter if you're holding hands with your girl. If you and I are walking down the sidewalk and there's a light pole, we're not splitting it. We have to cross on the same side. I go to Harris Teeter. I'm going in on the right. I won't go backwards on the racetrack. I'm going in on the right side, and I have to come out the other side.
It makes sense.
I mean, annoying stuff, like
Yeah.
stuff that, and then, like, it reminds me. My dad told me, like, Sammy, if he knew this 3/4 inch socket wasn't put on there right, and he would kind of try to put it out of his head, go strap in, he would get out of the car and go
And go back and put it on?
Bothers stuff like that. It bothers me like
Like
that.
OCD almost.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's annoying. too.
Allgaier says he has a hard time turning right, like even walking. Like he turns left easier than he turns right on places.
I'm not that bad.
yeah,
but-
I don't know. It's
but,
weird.
like-
just racing people, man.
So my girlfriend, she is so annoyed with it at Harris Teeter when I make her go the obviously long way around. She's like, quit being so superstitious. I'm like, all right, I'll be a little stitious.
Yeah.
I'm going to work
Yeah.
on it. And then my first DNF of the year was at Talladega that weekend. I'm like, see,
Yeah, back
there's the
to it.
reason
You
why.
have to go back to it.
Yeah, I think
that's
racing probably has the worst out of
Mhm.
anybody in superstition.
No
Maybe
ch-
racing and baseball.
No chicken on race days. No $50 bills.
Chicken is a thing.
Green.
Well, I think racing, because so much stuff's out of our control,
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
blame it. You got to blame it on
You
something.
gotta blame it on the outer, right?
When does just chicken thing come up? I've never heard
Fried
that.
chicken. You can't eat fried chicken on race days.
Well, I never heard that
I've
one.
never heard
That's
that.
a
Heard
dirt.
peanuts.
I think that's a deal. Yeah, peanuts. You can't eat peanuts.
And then some people say it's just shelled peanuts.
I don't know. I don't
People always try the green thing, and then I think back
Green.
to Steve Kinzer winning the Nationals in that
Everyone
Quaker
that's
State
won
car.
championships, it's in a green car, so I don't.
Yeah.
I disagree with that completely.
Yeah, I've never agreed with that one.
You got any more superstitions? No.
Nope.
Daryl says no.
It's just called jiggling your autism. That's what it's called. That's what we used to call it in the business.
So, you say you have people to do your laundry and all that. What about Hudson Hall? Because we've been pretty good friends with him, and he's not here today. I'm not sure why. But he sent me some videos this morning of you shooting slap shots at him, and it was pretty funny.
That's pretty much Hudson's job description. Whatever we need done.
He just does.
Hudson,
I was
yeah.
gonna say he's a PR manager, but he's really not. He does anything and everything,
Yeah,
man.
he really does. Yeah, that was a photo shoot we were actually doing for Gong Show, which that T-shirt I got on. It's a clothing brand. They make hats, everything based out of Canada, all based around
It's hockey.
hockey.
You got to
Yeah.
be in Canada for that.
Yep. So, we were doing a photo shoot for them, and they wanted me taking slap shots, but we wanted a goalie kind of ghost in the background. You can't really see him for the picture. So Hudson, I don't think's ever ice skated a day in his life, but we strapped him,
Poor guy.
put all the goalie equipment on him, and managed to get him over to the net and just told him to stand there. And then it was just, he didn't know we had a whole bucket of pucks waiting. It was just a free for all.
Yeah, I watched him you jump onto the ice like you've done it a million times, so whatever. He goes out there, and Hudson is grabbing the glass, he can't.
move.
Trying
You
not
know,
to
like when you
fall.
go to
It's
a roller
pretty fun.
skate rink and you see the kids on the outside just grabbing the wall, going
It's
2
pretty
miles
good.
per hour. Yeah, and then he's just firing these slap
It's hard
shots
enough
at
to
him.
skate, let alone with goalie pads on. And
Yeah, he
where
looks
your legs
he
can't
looks
even move.
gigantic too. Like he can't move at all.
It is funny.
People say that. So, our pit coach he's a head coach at Gibbs now, Brian Holland. I don't know if you know him or not. He played D1 hockey,
Mhm.
and then he played in the American League and all that stuff. But he like I said, he's a head pit coach at Gibbs now. But he was our coach for a while, and he was a goalie, and he has a goalie school, actually down at Extreme Ice Center. He does really well with it. But I didn't realize how good of a skater he had to be a goalie.
Yeah.
Because
And
those guys
flexible.
are almost some of the best skaters on the ice. But
Yeah.
we learned so much with hockey, and he's had so many badass dudes around, like the coach from Ohio, and just the lingo of hockey players is
Eh?
the funniest thing.
Eh?
Yeah, you can't even begin to say it on here what
Yeah.
it is, but it's
You know what the worst thing that comes through this shop is when we paint a goalie helmet, because we paint a lot of college guys' helmets and stuff, and some of them will send us used, like they've used it for a couple.
Pretty rough.
Oh my god, the worst smelling helmets.
worse than a picker helmet.
By far.
The worst is the
Oh,
gloves.
Ugh.
The gloves is a stench that it never goes away.
It's like no other, dude. It's like it's hard to even explain. Just mold. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gross. Yeah, whatever you guys hockey dudes do.
Yeah, it's fine. I got my hockey bag in my garage at home, and it's funny though because you open it up and you smell it.
Oh
and
my
it's just
gosh.
all your memories of growing up.
It's the
though. It just
worst
comes
smell
right
in the
back.
world.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
funny though, like what he was talking about where Gong Show actually started was this deal called the Junior Hockey Bible, and it's just the definition of every word you've heard those guys say and what it actually means. It's pretty.
You ever
Dude,
watch?
it's-
You ever watch the Letter Kenny?
The what?
The Letter Kenny,
Mm-mm.
or something like that. Have you seen that show?
Is that the guy who has a lip dinner?
It's the Canadians and their sayings. It reminds me of hockey so much because they just talk in Canadian lingo and it's so funny. Tim Hortons.
Old Timmy Hortons.
Yeah, gotta drink the coffee.
That's the best up there.
Yeah.
Every time we go to Michigan, we got it. This week. Brian Holland will be at Timmy Hortons.
Yeah, they have one up there.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
they have one in Allentown where we race at.
I've never been to Allentown.
You haven't?
No,
Oh, that's why we win there probably.
probably.
But yeah, they got a Timmy Hortons right there.
I'm not there to help.
Anything north of, I'd say Pennsylvania and north, like Ohio, so you draw a straight line across.
We went to Wisconsin one time to race late models, and they played the Canadian anthem there.
They do that
They do
quite
it
a bit up
Michigan.
there.
Really? Yeah, I guess so.
Michigan. Let's see,
New Hampshire.
Road America, New Hampshire.
Yeah, Road America, they do it up there too, huh?
Yeah.
Mid Ohio, I think we do it.
Maybe Watkins Glen.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like screwing with everybody, and I sing it as loud as I can because I know the words.
Because you're so Canadian.
I even know the
Hockey.
French part.
You know the French part.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
You hear it enough.
I don't know that.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
but
know
you're
the
saying
words.
Yeah. I guess so. If you've been in hockey long enough, you probably know it all. So.
The battle for the 2019 championship will be filled with twists and turns.
We got to kind of calm down for these speedway races because you can use the bumper, but you end up taking 10 other people with you.
Each weekday, NASCAR Today brings you the top stories in the sport.
That's a totally different experience for me and Cup.
In the garage, at the track, or behind the scenes, NASCAR Today keeps you up to speed every weekday.
Go for it. What do we got to lose? I don't know. I mean, you might as well try it, right?
Hi, folks. Mike Bagley here. At MRN, we rely on equipment from Racing Electronics.
Joey Logano to the lead on the back straightaway.
Racing Electronics has scanners and headphones. We can listen to every uncensored conversation between driver and crew.
You won the championship, baby, yeah!
And when we need live audio, in-car cameras, and up-to-the-second statistics, we use their latest handheld unit called Legend. To learn more about these products and many others, visit racingelectronics.com. Racing Electronics, the official two-way communication partner of MRN.
Alright, so look, we watch these videos and kind of commentate here. We've never seen them. Daryl throws them up every week, and
It's your reaction. Your
it's
raw.
your reaction.
I had to do
Reaction.
this past weekend in Pocono.
Oh, so you'll be the best
with,
at it. Did
whoops.
they copy us? Also, if you're listening to this on iTunes, because I get this a lot too. Oh, you can't see the video.
Can we just cut this part out for iTunes?
Maybe.
Screw that.
Okay.
It's on our YouTube page. You can easily just type in off-axis paint.
Or MRN's Facebook page.
But we have them on there, and you can watch them all, and you can do your own commentating if you want, and send it to us.
Sounds good.
Great. Okay.
We'll
Would you
play
like
it.
to watch the first one now?
Yes.
I'm gonna play it. Video number 1. Oh man.
What do you just wait till they run out of gas?
No, that'll be forever.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna catch it. That was it? Oh.
I gotta see how that ends.
Oh, I really
what a
wanted
letdown.
to see how it ended.
How do you take that off before it ends,
I
Daryl?
like how this second guy's just running over here and he just watches.
I would literally just walk away.
Yeah, I would too.
At that point, you're done.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably a team bike. It's not yours.
Even if it is, just loss.
Oof.
You got too much stuff open here.
I got a lot going on today. Second video. Here we go. Got some big wings. A lot of downforce here.
That's Catherine Legg at Ohio.
You
Yeah.
been there?
Ugh.
Porsches are designed to sit like that, I think. I think
Yeah.
that's how they ship them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
That's a Porsche, right?
Yeah, it's got.
That's when you see how long you can keep them up there, just to screw with them.
I would just keep doing the race. If I was that
Yeah,
bottom car,
just dig.
Yeah, he's not messed up at all. Maybe flat right rear. I would have just kept on going. All right, video number 3. If this one ends early, Daryl, we're gonna be real upset with you today. Here we go. Oh boy.
This one's good.
Oh boy. Is he gonna fight him? It's like
Clint Boyer.
running
He's leaving that helmet
Ricky
on.
Bobby right now.
He's running away?
Yep.
Oh my God.
No.
No.
How much did you fight in hockey? Were you a goon?
I wasn't a goon. I played defense.
That's it?
In my it really there's not much. They end
Okay,
up
just-
talking it out. But my defensive partner was the enforcer on the team. So I was
Have you ever
always-
seen the movie Goon?
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's the
hilarious.
best
Both
movie
Goon.
ever.
Yeah. Youngblood's good. That's an old
I've never seen
school
that.
Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze. You're a hockey guy and you haven't seen Youngblood?
I've seen the Mighty Ducks.
I don't think he's a
Couple
hockey
times.
guy. I think he's just a pretender today. because
if
because
you
you're
haven't
here.
seen Youngblood, you need to go home and watch Youngblood.
I've been to more hockey games than I have basketball, football put together for sure.
So one.
No.
So you've been to one
No,
hockey.
I've been to plenty of Blues games. I've been to a couple
Okay.
Checkers games too, but there's no fighting there, so I'm not a big fan.
They
of
fight
it.
at the Checkers sometimes.
I've never seen one fight at the
They're
Checkers.
actually. Have you seen how they're in the finals right now? It's 1-1 in the finals.
Oh,
to win
really?
The cup. Yeah.
We should go watch them in the Bojangles.
That's what
Coliseum.
was sad. I saw a clip of the game. They played Saturday night. It's today. They played Sunday night in Charlotte. And they're in game 2 of the finals, and that place wasn't full.
There's like 5 people there. That sucks.
That sucks.
All right, video number 3 or 4, something.
Something's running out in front of him.
Oh gosh, that's full cow.
Oh, he didn't have that in his notes, I guess.
Yeah.
Hard.
Is there going to be another?
Oh my gosh.
Goodness, where are they?
Oh my lord.
Right.
Dude, he got lucky.
Cow.
That's actually funnier if you turn the audio up.
Okay, hold on. Let's watch it. We didn't hear it earlier.
Oh, shit. Okay, good job. Okay, right for John, 50. Caution, right for minus. Me.
That's way funnier with the audio.
Dude, he did a good job not panicking getting through there.
Dude,
Holy
he
mackerel.
freaking wheeled it through there.
That's awesome.
I'm glad we don't have that at our road courses, just livestock running across the track. Whew, that'd be rough.
Maybe it might make it a little better.
Yeah.
Road courses are good. What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm just kidding.
All right, video number 5, final one here. This looks like me at the Motorplex. Oh my gosh, definitely.
Dude, he kept going.
Dude, he passed him and kept on going. Oh, that's me right there, yeah. Perfect. Digging. I would have not kept on going. That's the problem with me. I would have fenced
Dude
that
got
thing.
some air on that.
Yeah,
thing,
he
man.
did. I don't even know how that happens in a go-kart. What can you launch off of? A tire again?
The left rear tire, yeah.
Oh, that's
You never done that?
No, not in a go-kart.
Well, that's because the ones you run have the plastic around them.
the bumpers.
If they didn't have the
That's a good
bumpers,
Dude, I'm from Branson. That's all we have
I
is
like
go-karts
that
with
the
bumpers
dude
on them.
doesn't look back. Nothing. He
Yeah.
lands it and just keeps.
He looks
digging.
like he meant to do it. Like
hey,
a
that's a spot.
like a pool shot or something.
It's a free spot.
Yeah. Where you guys go this weekend?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Pay attention.
I don't even watch
Timmy
the schedule
Hortons.
anymore.
Do you hit up the BD's Mongolian Grill? Do you guys stay around Ann Arbor?
No, we stay
Normally
far
no,
away.
he doesn't stay anywhere because he only flies in and flies out on race day.
I thought you
Must
still
have
did. You don't do
the track.
Xfinity anymore?
I do it this week, but most of the time, no.
Are you tire guy this week?
No, just changing tires on 12.
Wow.
I might have to go back to the road guy for the couple Xfinity
Who's
races.
in the 12th?
Paul Menard.
Maynard.
Yep. So we'll see how
Team
she
off
goes.
Axis. Get the win.
Yeah.
We'd love that.
Can't wait.
We would love that. I was real bummed because we started painting your helmets this year, and a nameless helmet manufacturer couldn't get us the
They're a
helmets in
little late.
time, and so when you won Daytona, you were supposed to have an off-axis helmet
Yep.
on, and you did not. So I was pretty bummed. But
Yeah, we'll have to get another one.
yeah, July you can just go grab another Daytona win
I
for
hope
us.
to get one before.
I mean, you
Daytona.
can win Michigan or Iowa, wherever you'd like to win. That'd be fine too. So home track win would be pretty sick though.
Have to beat.
Iowa.
Have to beat that guy.
That guy.
Right there.
Team off axis. All right. Anything else? You
I'm good. I appreciate it.
Enjoy your day. You have
You guys
swim,
enjoy
swim
your
class
days.
tonight?
Swim
Thank you.
class tonight.
Yeah,
I'll
that-
see Travis
What is
Mack
it?
there.
Tell
Fishers?
Travis
What is
hello.
it called?
What is it?
Little whiskers.
Little Otters.
Little Otters.
Little Otters.
He
Yeah.
said some last week got canceled. He was pretty bummed.
Was
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
So I'm in the class before him because my kid's younger.
I got you.
So, but
Hey.
yeah, he's in there.
Little
mean,
Otters. Go Little Otters.
It ruined his week that swim class was canceled last
It's a
week.
big
I'm
deal.
sure, yeah.
Especially when especially like him, gone 2 or 3 days a week. You know,
Like
that's
you've been going to that for like 12 weeks.
I feel like
how
your
long is
daughter
the
can
course?
swim now, right?
me.
Yeah.
No, we just moved up to the next one.
Oh, just there's another.
Yeah, I've been going to that thing for over a year.
Is she high diving yet?
It's like,
Yeah.
man, she must be doing the Olympics.
She high dives. She can flip and
Guys,
stuff.
she sinks like a rock. She's only 18 months old. She's just trying to teach her not to die. Just to do this to not die in
That's
the
it.
water. That's
Just
pretty
survival.
much it. It's
She's gonna
survival
make Tokyo
class.
2020.
Yes, but she did. We put that swimmy thing on her the other day, and we were at a buddy's pool, and she's got way too much balls with that thing. She walked and jumped off the diving board.
Oh,
Nice.
Said,
wow.
don't forget that you can't swim, kid.
Yeah.
So that's that.
That's what's funny is they can teach those babies to float, and I can't even float.
Yeah, I'm
I still
terrible at
struggle.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great week.
Little baby be jumping in, saving you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We're all over.
Thanks, MRN. Check out Dotes Dude.
Get Dotes, dude. Get Dotes to
SEMA.
SEMA.
He's trying to get to SEMA right now, so check out Dotes Dude. And
What does Dotes do?
He's a helmet painter.
He paints helmets in
Australia.
Australia. He's trying to come to SEMA to the.
Have you ever met him?
We have not.
No.
Okay.
I
Dave
told
of all
him-
Dave of all trades.
I said if you get to SEMA, I'll bring all this podcast stuff there, and we will do a podcast at SEMA. So.
Heck yeah.
All right. Have a great
Thank
week.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming in,
you.
Michael.
Appreciate it.